Veterans Day is Tuesday, and we want to take some time to honor those who serve. And of course, that involves remembering that coming home, especially from combat, is not easy. In some cases, pets and service animals can be silent but important caregivers. Tomas Baez is a former Army airborne, and he served tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. He's here along with his dog, Dagger. And David Gerardo, he has served for the Army in Iraq as well. And first, gentlemen, thank you for being with us, and most importantly, thank you for your service. You know, what's interesting, Tomas, is when you came back home from these tours, I would imagine that the adjustment is not just in the lifestyle, but it's in that people don't understand how hard it is to readjust to the world here. So what were some of the challenges that you faced?
Challenges being in the military, everybody's going through the same thing. So the support group is there, and now you are in a slow pace of things that you are in the civilian world. When some of them understand, but some of them don't understand, and you still call your friends back. You know, you're like, hey man, how you doing? You know, how are everything? And then that's the way that I used to just cope with that.
Tell me what life has been like now and what it is about Dagger that helps you get over some of the things that were challenges.
When I got Dagger, I just wanted a dog. It had nothing to do with what I was going through. I thought I was going to just deal with the rest of my life. It's what it is. Within a week of having him, I started sleeping better. Dreams were not as often coming in my head. And slowly but surely, he has helped me tremendously going to sleep and just being there for me.
You know, David, when you're training some of these dogs, and I know you have a PTSD support dog, Willet, when you're training some of these dogs, what is it that you do that helps bring veterans this kind of comfort?
Well, I mean, you know, I try my hardest to make sure that the bond between the veteran and the dog is, you know, as close as possible. So, like in my instance, my dog, which is trained to have my back at all times. For me, the biggest part about it is the camaraderie that we had. I mean, when I served in Iraq, you know, I was the RTO, which is the remote guy, the radio guy. I always had somebody watching my back. When I got home, that was a horse of a totally different color.
You know, Tomas is over here shaking his head, and you sort of alluded to this. When you get home, people don't necessarily understand. You have friends that have your back, but that's what dogs do. They're the most loyal pets you can possibly have. Describe that relationship.
I'm his dad, you know, and he's my guy. I mean, just every day to come home and then see him. That doesn't matter what happened through the day. He's always happy, and I'm always happy to see him.
You know, David, I'm sure you felt this way as well as you train these dogs to do this. Talk about your relationship with your dog and why it's been so important.
Now, when I got my puppy, Willet, I rescued him from a shelter. He was left on the side of the road, abandoned with another litter, and, you know, I mean, he had a couple more days to go before they put him down. The numbers right now are 23 veterans a day who commit suicide, and every 8 seconds a shelter animal is euthanized. With me and my dog, the minute I got him as a puppy, it gave me the motivation to get out there and start training him. It gave me a mission, it gave me a task. With that, it got me involved with the Wounded Warrior Project, and I volunteer as a peer mentor, helping other veterans that come in, trying to show them that, hey, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
What you say is basically you're connecting two people that need each other, basically, veterans that are suffering, dogs that could be put down, and you're doing a great thing. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with me, and as I said again, thank you so much for your service.
Well, thank you, for sure, and just giving us a chance to say something, you know?
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Before the break, we heard powerful stories from 2 military veterans about how pets are helping them when they return home from combat and adjusting to civilian life. And there are a lot of groups helping them get there. Charles Kaufman is a trainer with Pets for Vets. Maya Gupta is a psychologist to talk about why this works. And Meredith Millwood is with the Atlanta Humane Society, training some of these dogs as well. I want to start with you, Charles, because Spike here that you've got, you train him specifically for this purpose. And the bond between a pet and their owner is something that is priceless, but when it comes to veterans, it is so much more than that.
Therapeutic.
Yes.
Yes, for both of them. We save a dog's life. We train them. We work on their socializing so that they're good with people and crowds and that sort of thing. And good snugglers on TV night. And it's just an amazing bond that forms between the veterans and these dogs. And it's just such a win-win for both of them.
Yeah, let's talk about why that works. Maya, what have you seen about the animal-owner bond that is unique?
Well, we know that there is a powerful bond, and we've got a growing field of evidence that says that interacting with animals can have benefits for a variety of populations. Kids, individuals with autism, the elderly, everything from emotional benefits to social skills and lots more.
And what I keep going back to, Charles, is the loyalty of these animals.
Oh.
That is something that it cannot be trained. But one thing that I know, you are having trouble finding enough dogs for the veterans in need. And I know the Atlanta Humane Society in particular is trying to get involved with that.
Well, we certainly have no shortage of dogs on hand, and that's why we started the Companion Pets for Vets program, offering these veterans free dogs, just like Mr. Withers here.
We generally can come up with dogs, but what we really have problems with is fosters. During the training period for about a month to 6 weeks, while we train the dog, we need a family to foster the dog and care for it before we turn it over to the vet.
What would the commitment be for that? What would you do?
4 to 6 weeks. I come to the house a couple times a week. I begin the training, and I can show you all the stuff we train if you want. Spike's done real well for only a few weeks. But we train them the basic commands, and just as important, we socialize them. We work on greeting other people, other dogs, social situations in public. And like Spike had trouble with cars. So we had to desensitize him to riding in a car, and now he loves cars.
And, you know, Maya, when you talk about specifically what so many veterans deal with is PTSD, what is unique about PTSD and how these animals help?
One of the things that's so challenging for veterans or anyone experiencing PTSD is being disconnected from the world. It's the emotional numbing. And I think we can all see how animals help us connect with others. And I think that that can really break down some barriers for veterans, whether it's adjusting to daily life again or whether it's a barrier to actually engaging in treatment, psychotherapy treatment for PTSD.
And also, I would imagine trust.
Absolutely.
You know that pet is going to be there no matter what. What have you heard from some of the veterans? Because you're doing something unique. You're actually waiving any fees for veterans to get these pets.
Correct. Well, we hear it from adopters every day, you know, veterans and the general public alike, that the dogs have helped them heal through, you know, traumatic injuries, health issues, and loss. You know, pets can fill a void that, you know, maybe you didn't even know you needed filled. And people tell us that they're happier, they're healthier, they're sleeping better. And that's why we do it. And you heard that with Tomas.
And Mr. Withers, by the way, is up for adoption if anyone's interested. He's so sweet. We've had so much fun. And we thank our men and women in combat who serve for our freedom, but we also thank the people at home that really do some great work for those men and women. So we thank you guys for being with us.